Seals, a primary food source for polar bears, are found throughout the Arctic. The Arctic supports whales like narwhals and belugas. On land, caribou roam the tundra, adapted for snow and marshy ground. The Arctic is a land of extremes. It is a place where the sun does not set for months in summer and does not rise for months in winter. This is the land of the midnight sun, a place of snow and ice, where temperatures can plunge to -50 degrees Celsius. The Arctic teems with life. It is home to a surprising array of plants and animals, all adapted to survive in this extreme environment. The Arctic is a region of great beauty and wonder, playing a vital role in the global climate system. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest and shallowest of the world's oceans. It is also the coldest. The Arctic Ocean is covered in sea ice for most of the year. Sea ice is formed when seawater freezes. The thickness of the sea ice varies depending on the time of year. In winter, the sea ice can be up to 2 meters thick. In summer, the sea ice melts and shrinks, and some of it disappears altogether. The Arctic Ocean is home to a variety of marine life, including whales, seals, walruses, and polar bears. These animals have all adapted to survive in the cold, icy waters. Despite the harsh conditions, the Arctic teems with life. Animals adapt to survive long winters and thrive in short summers. Polar bears, the apex predators, hunt on ice and snow. Walruses, with their massive tusks, gather on shores and ice floes. Seals, a primary food source for polar bears, are found throughout the Arctic. The Arctic supports whales like narwhals and belugas. On land, caribou roam the tundra, adapted for snow and marshy ground. Section 4. People of the Arctic. For centuries, the Arctic has been home to indigenous peoples who have thrived in this challenging environment. These communities, including the Inuit, Yupik, Sami, and others, have developed a deep understanding and respect for the delicate balance of the Arctic ecosystem. Their traditional knowledge, passed down through generations, has enabled them to survive in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Hunting and fishing have been central to the livelihoods of Arctic peoples, providing sustenance and materials for clothing, tools, and shelter. Their connection to the land and sea is profound, and their cultural traditions often reflect the rhythms of nature and the importance of wildlife. However, the Arctic's indigenous communities are facing significant challenges due to the impacts of climate change. The Arctic is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet, leading to the melting of sea ice, thawing permafrost, and changes in wildlife migration patterns. Section 5. The Arctic is melting. The Arctic is experiencing the effects of climate change more dramatically than any other region on Earth. Rising global temperatures are causing the Arctic ice cap to shrink at an alarming rate. The ice is melting faster than it can be replenished during the winter months, leading to a decline in the overall ice cover. This loss of sea ice has dire consequences for the Arctic ecosystem and beyond. As sea ice melts, it exposes darker ocean water, which absorbs more heat from the sun, further accelerating the warming effect. This phenomenon, known as the albedo effect, contributes to a feedback loop that amplifies climate change in the Arctic. The melting ice also disrupts the habitat of iconic Arctic species, such as polar bears, walruses, and seals. Section 6. Protecting the Arctic. The Arctic, with its breathtaking beauty and ecological significance, faces unprecedented threats from climate change and human activities. Protecting this fragile region is crucial, not only for the survival of its unique wildlife and indigenous cultures, but also for the well-being of the entire planet. International cooperation is paramount in addressing the challenges facing the Arctic. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions on a global scale is essential to slow down the rate of Arctic warming and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Protecting Arctic species and their habitats requires collaborative efforts to establish marine protected areas, regulate shipping routes, and prevent oil and gas development in sensitive areas. Supporting the resilience of Arctic communities is equally important. Providing access to renewable energy sources, improving infrastructure, and preserving traditional knowledge can help these communities adapt to the changing environment.